Human Genome Project Future Challenges. There are many future challenges once the human genome has been sequenced. Some of the challenges they are: understand the relationship between genomics, race, ethnicity, and consequences of uncovering these relationships. Some alleles, they are more frequent in certain populations, need research on how individuals and cultures conceive of race, ethnicity, group identity, and self-identity. How does the scientific community understand and use these concepts to design research and present the results? Society need to define the appropriate and inappropriate uses of the genomics. Reproductive genetic testing, genetic enhancements, germline gene transfer are also some of the challenges of once the human genome has been sequenced. How do different individuals, culture, religious traditions view the ethical boundaries of the uses of genomics? So we have to see whether the individuals, cultures, and the religious boundaries, how they see once the genome has been sequenced and how we can use them within the limits of these boundaries. Need to introduce preventive genetic methods in developing countries like Pakistan. How to bridge the gap in healthcare between developing and developed countries. Growing demand to educate healthcare workers to accurately evaluate the genetic test is also one of the challenge, particularly in developing countries. Public needs to gain scientific literacy and understand the capabilities, limitations, and risk of the mutations that are present in specific individuals. Minimum standards to be established, including quality control, to ensure accuracy and reliability of the genetic test. Need of the legislations, particularly in the developing countries, is also a challenge. Informed consent for complex procedures, counseling about the risk, limitations, and reliability of genetic screening techniques. Reproductive decisions making based on the genetic information and reproductive rights of the individuals. Then the genetic predisposition do not mandate disease development. Cautions must be exercised when correlating the genetic test with the predictions is also one of the challenge of human genome sequence once the human genome has been sequenced. We have to define the ethical framework for genetic services, review the curricula of health professionals, institutions, and plan to introduce appropriate genetic services is also one of the challenge, particularly in the developing countries.